Negative and the audience. In a bid to uphold quality education in Uganda, this house regrets salary discrimination, and this is to say between arts and science teachers in Uganda. And the key terminologies of today's resolution are: 1. Uphold. This is to support something that you think is right and you want to make it continue to exist. And you also see that quality education, this is the highest form of education attained, or the highest form of learning attained at a particular level. And you also see that salary is money earned after a monthly works despite the holidays. And we also come to the discrimination, which is the practice of treating someone or a group of people less fairly than the others. That is to say, you treat them unequally. And we come to the history of the salary and we come to the history of the salary discrimination between the arts and science teachers in Uganda. In the recent directive, that was the latest one, was made in 2021 by President Museveni on the issues, and this was in 2021 to pay science teachers significantly higher salaries than their arts counterparts. And this resulted in a new salary structure where science teachers would earn nearly 4 times their counterparts' salary, causing dissatisfaction and unrest within the teaching community. And what is the current status quo? Currently, the teacher's salary has been rolled out and science teachers are receiving the salary that is 4 times higher than that of their counterparts. We come to see that the unequal treatment of the arts and science teachers has raised concerns about the future of education in Uganda. Really, currently, the future of education in Uganda is very uncertain, that we are even not knowing what will happen next because of decline in motivation, which has affected the teaching staff, and there has also been creation of divisions in schools. This is why you find science teachers and arts teachers do not share the same meals, because there is no way you're going to share the same meal with a person who beats you by salary 4 times. Indeed, 4 times. We come to the impacts of this. We come to the impacts of this directive that it has had on teachers. 1, the quality of education has went to risk, and there is potential strike that is probably coming next, as we have seen the strikes of the art teacher that happened in 2022. But now we expect more strikes because the salary is not enough, and we also see administrative challenge and long-term consequences in the education sector. And therefore, we as Team Affirmative move to encourage the government to make the salaries of the arts teachers nearer their science counterparts. This means that we should make them fair. Everyone should have an equal salaries as long as they are teachers who underwent the same training for the same 3 years at the same university in the same institution. I rest my case.
You said these teachers do have the same training, do they?
Yeah.
Do the science teachers and arts teachers have the same training?
Yeah, they do.
How will the potential strikes advocate for salary balance?
Because when these strikes happen, the students will not learn anything. So the country is losing, the student is losing, the parent is losing.
Have the arts teachers striked?
Yes, they did.
And why have your strategies failed to advocate for salary balance?
Because currently we are coming up and telling the government, but you know the government is dictatorial.
So you have a dictatorial government, thank you.
Thank you. In a bid to uphold quality education in Uganda, this House regrets salary discrimination among teachers. I'm so astonished by the affirmative behavior of coming and despising our government that it is detrimental. It does not listen to the citizens. I think there is no law enforcer here to arrest our farmers. The team affirmatives are coming up with very light excuses. I call them excuses because I don't find any content in this. They say this salary discrimination will lead to a decline in motivation. I don't think so. We as team negatives don't think so. If we have given unequal salaries to these science teachers, that means we have a reason. We have found some value in sciences that we have not found in humanities or the arts subjects. That means if we do this for the science teachers, the arts teachers would rather be motivated to work harder and to prove their sector more important than the other one. Thank you. Then Segregation, this is a very weak point because all the example he gave is sharing meals. We do not care about that. They've even failed sharing meals even without this salary imbalance. We are still negatives. We acknowledge that all food displeasure arisen by the act of paying specific group of people of the same career, different amounts of salary. We are aware about that displeasure because it is human. We cannot be pleased by the same amount of salary. It is human that if they give my brother a greater piece of cake than they give me, I'll be happy. That is natural, and we acknowledge that. We acknowledge that displeasure. But however, we cannot base on emotions to judge diplomatic issues. We cannot base on emotions just because I'm feeling sad that I've increased someone's salary, so that we put these diplomatic issues, that the development of the country, just basing on emotions. That is why we feel that this discrimination among the teachers was really a way to go. Why? Science is a complex sector. Team Affirmative, get to know it is very complex. It involves very many branches: biology, agriculture, a lot of sectors. If we don't add these people money, they put in a lot, they think a lot more than the humanities do. Give an example of history. You people just cram answers. The answers we gave in 1990 are the same answers we are giving even right now. It has not changed. Another thing, science cells are dynamic, they change over time. We need time to research about the recent trends in science. And why should I not be given extra money just because we got the same training like you're saying? This will also help us. Help us to achieve all the other SDGs. Like we all know that in this platform, we are after achieving the SDGs. Because if we have employed and given science teachers more money, we feel we shall achieve all the other SDGs as it will be explained by the following speakers. We have also said that science requires a lot of research, and it is for this reason that we are increasing the amount of salary paid to the science teachers, because we feel they deserve it. And about the strikes they're talking about, we have even seen strikes even before the increment of salaries of science teachers.
Madam. First question. Since the increase of salary for science teachers, has the science department improved in performance?
Yes, did you not see
Yes or no? Stop there. Okay, I get you. How about the art performance?
It has still increased because they are working hard.
Verify your source for that information.
Because the
verify the source where you get that information.
Let me tell you.
Let
me inform you.
No.
The number of people offering arts are exceeding those offering sciences.
I said, madam, you told me that the science subjects are performing well. I asked you to verify your source where you get that information.
Yes, they did. I told you that science.
What is the source for that information you are saying?
I'm not aware of.
Okay, let's move on. The question has become complicated for you, madam. You talk about science being complicated. Don't you think?
I didn't say that. I said it is complex.
Yes, complex, right? And research. Don't you think to move a final decision to someone should be killing, that can be complex?
We are not killing anyone. We are just giving
we
are giving a
it's a yes or no. You don't go astray the question.
You did not ask the question for this.
Okay, it's alright.
Okay.
So you talked about that you should not bring emotions here and start when you're judging the question.
Thank you. I raised my case.
You're welcome.
We ask these team negators who are telling us that the science subjects are currently being passed in Uganda. Ask them the source where they are getting that information. If you tell us that the source, which means they are now giving us false information. We're going to see that the teachers, we're going to see that the teachers are losing morale. They are telling us of complex. Now we the team of farmers come to ask them if we are given an option, whereby if a person is given an option to die or live, what would he take? Now is that a complex? So which means it is all applied in the current life. Then you're going to see that the products that the teachers are outputting, the science teachers are output their subjects are being failed. So we are team of farmers asking ourselves, are these the good products that we want? Oh, the art teachers are failing, the art teachers are passing, and the science teachers are failing. So is this the product that we want? Is this the product that we want to engage in? Then we're going to see that when we analyze the NEP results since 2022 performance, the science subjects have been failed. So if we can relate this to the products that we are attaining, what are the kind of products we are attaining? Are they good or are they bad? So we're going to continue to need more explanation by the team negators. We're going to see that the teachers are losing morale, whereby the team negative, they come on board and then tell us that the government listens to its citizens. But we continue to see the government that listens to its citizens failing to address salary and fairness. So we as a team of farmers, we ask ourselves, if the government is listening to its citizens, then what is it doing in order to promote equal salary enhancement? Then you're going to see that the administrative challenges, whereby we are seeing the science teachers who are earning more money than their teachers. So we the team of farmers ask ourselves, if a science teacher, like a teacher of biology, is earning more than the teacher, with the teacher rule with the teacher rule, the teacher of biology. So we are seeing administrative challenges, whereby we are having very many quarrels between the leadership, between the administrative powers, whereby the head teacher, whereby the biology teacher who becomes the science subject is saying that I cannot be ruled by the head teacher with whom I can't earn the same salary. Then the head teacher will also be saying that I cannot also be controlled by a science teacher whom I hate. So that will cause the administrative challenges. Then we are seeing the quality of education. We are seeing that the science teachers are earning 2.5 million. Then what are the art teachers earning? What are they earning? Is that the quality of education we want? Then we continue to see that there is long-term consequences on the education sector, whereby these consequences they are taking long. Take an instance. When the implementation of the earning of salaries by the science teachers was put in place, it took a long time, whereby we are having a long-term consequence.
Are you fronting hypothesis over content and competence? Are you fronting hypothesis over content and competence? Thank you. What is your other alternative to salary imbalance?
Sorry?
What is your other alternative to salary imbalance? They don't have. Account for the loss of morale in the humanities subjects.
We are having science, the art teachers losing the morale sheet because they are earning less than the science teachers.
Thank you. Are you aware about the USCE results of biology in 2022?
I beg your pardon?
Thank you.
I begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Result. In a bid to achieve quality education, this House regrets salary discrimination among teachers. And basically, we are basing ourselves on science and arts teachers. We have talked about quality. Quality is the degree of value in something. The essence of education is analyzing other sustainable development goals. It is because of analyzing other sustainable goals we have seen developed countries developing, because countries like China, because they have invested more in the science sector by giving science teachers priorities. They have seen these countries develop and they have been progressing because of this reason. They are advocating for strikes, and by advocating for strikes, this will lead about poor education. Because if you tell the science teacher that you should go on a strike, these students will not achieve the necessary education, and this is not the quality education we are talking about. These people have got a different narrative of a resolution. We want quality education. They are irrelevant giving examples of death and living. I am questioning them on the practicality. How death and living is practical in this sense. Death and living in something that deals with salaries. In fact, This is impossible. They could not give us cases of administrative challenges where these people have faced challenges due to the fact that these science teachers are getting more money than the administrators. We have said input because we have said that science subjects are complex and these need more time and research. They need more investment. These teachers make research. Research because science is dynamic. Because of the dynamic nature of these science subjects, these teachers need to make more research. And by giving them more money, they will invest in the research themselves. The government will not invest in the research. These teachers will use portion of the salary investing in the research. And this will help us analyze quality education because these teachers will have an sense of responsibility and make sure that these science learners achieve what they are expected to achieve. They have said that we ask the question, account for the loss. We have passed the question, and we have passed a question they should give us an alternative method. They could not give us an alternative method. What they are basing on their allegations and policies. They are substandards. I have never seen a team that has read the best format like this. I have never seen something like this. We talked about achieving all other SDGs in the quality education we are going to achieve. I can give an analogy. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen science, we've seen people who are receiving science suffering more to combat the COVID-19 than the humanities. Where were the people in the humanities? They were hiding in villages, whereby these people who are taught by science teachers were at the front dying. I feel that it should be given a priority. These science teachers contribute to the development of the country. If you do not, let us remove emotions from this and focus on the development of our country. We want a developed country. We do not want something that deals with emotions. What are we going to do? We are going to make sure that these teachers receive a relatively higher amount, but not greater than the science teachers, because these science teachers are more important to the community. Pardon, they are not acknowledging that. They are just basing themselves on allegations. They are saying they are talking about sharing meals, for example, in schools, and this is not related to quality education. If these teachers themselves, the teachers are not the ones receiving education, for example. The learners are the ones that are receiving education. So if you tell me that the segregation and sharing of meal will affect the education sector, it is very wrong. I will not accept
What's the highest failed subject at A level?
Currently, we have seen
You cannot. That's
science subjects have been
involved in combating COVID-19.
They are the ones who told these people who are combating COVID-19.
And what's the difference between the time the arts teachers and science teachers spend at the university?
The science teachers spend more time at the university compared to the arts teachers.
What does the resolution call for?
The resolution calls for quality education, and we are talking about
and who chooses a path of doing sciences and arts?
The student is the one who chooses the path. That's why the teacher is the one who makes the student.
What is the motion?
The teacher is the one who.
What is the motion of today?
The motion is saying achieving quality education. You people are advocating for strikes, and this is not quality education. I beg first my case.
I'm beginning my speech in 3, 2, 1. Panel, ladies and gentlemen, we must first understand the motion. Unless otherwise, we are going to go astray the motion and we discuss something that's irrelevant. Motion. In a bid to achieve quality education in Uganda, this house regrets child discrimination. What does this motion mean? That we should compare the effect of child increase of science teachers and the effect of child increase of science teachers on the quality education. We should not come here and discuss why we should increase or why we should have a balanced child education. So, panel, if opposition comes on board, try to explain to us that we should increase such a science teachers for reasons like science is being complex, science being dynamic, demanding for research, demanding for passes. But no, we don't believe that science may be complicated, but the reason is the effect of increasing salaries very important. If you increase salaries, what is going to happen? Are teachers going to work? If a teacher was teaching 20 students, well, would that teacher be increased to 35 students or not? So would the other 15 students who did not have education get education or not? But they did not qualify for that. Two, we ask ourselves, if we increase this salaries, how is going to be the mental status of these teachers? Look, when we talk about quality education, it does not necessarily mean that we are comparing science subjects. No, quality education means that learning, acknowledging, getting knowledge, getting wisdom. That's what we call quality education. Now, when we ask the word quality from first speech, we say that quality education means getting high standard learning, acknowledging reasoning skills, and interpretation. So what education means, it involves two things. That could be sciences, that could be arts. So if you ever tell us that the increase of salaries has not been for that part of education, then it means that as team opposition, you have failed your burden of what we call repetition. They were supposed to show us how does salary increase to bring about quality education, of which they don't get our credit. But in our case, we tell you, look, the salary increase is going to lead to low quality education in the country. Why? We are going to tell you that the quality education is, look, we are going to look at the product of increasing. We are telling that the science subjects in Uganda, we believe the fact that science subjects in Uganda are being favored and science are good. But look, how about the quality of education we are getting in science? According to statistics from our second speaker, we tell that according to the NEB results 2022, since 2002, it tells us that P7 results, science was the most failed subject. 2, year 3, that was 2023, that is last year. They tell us science was the most failed subject. But remember, science is where? Includes 2. Then the recent NEB results, biology was the most failed. It's biology, a science subject, other than they not fail cater for that. Then they come on crash points, they tell us, they ask us questions, answer their question, they tell us lots of moral. Part of it to come common understanding. If you have an unstable mind, you teach. It's common understanding. Don't put emotion. If you are unstable in the mind, you teach common sense to everyone. If you are unstable in the mind, you teach a question to them. 2, they come and tell us sharing means. If you don't socialize the social environment you live in, we all know, according to science, they claim. Science says that if someone is in the social environment, the people you live with, the social environment affects what you call the mental environment. How is your brain mental? So if you have an unstable environment, unstable mentality, it means what you produce, what you do is totally irrelevant of which one. So I moved to the case. Which team wins the debate? But we win this debate on 3 metrics. 1, and the fact that we interpreted the motion, what the motion really wants. The motion called for is the same increase in trying to improve on the part of education. Team Affirmative was supposed to show that the same increase is just leading to low quality education. Then team negated, we are supposed to show us that look, if in this side you are going to get quality education, of which they fail to show us, meet the rules are there. So when you come and tell us the reasons, they are giving us reasons why we should increase salary teachers, not reasons why increase. I beg for 1 minute to conclude. So with that said, panel, we stand to say that equality inside for teachers would be the best way to achieve quality education. Allow us to wait. Okay, thank you.
Well, watching the Team Affirmative bringing the contest of emotions in our resolution is a continued blasphemy. Today's resolution. This House, in a bid to uphold quality education in Uganda, this House regrets salary discrimination among teachers, specifically science and arts. What were the team burdens? We team negators had the burden of justifying why we are not regretting the salary imbalances. We also had another burden of showing why they should be given more money. Those are the science teachers. And we defended our burdens with the following claims. We say, complexity of science subjects, biology, agriculture, the dynamic nature of the science subjects, they help us achieve the rest of the SDGs, and the science subjects require a lot of research. The burden for team affirmatives suggest an alternative salary increments instead of sciences, which they perfectly failed in this contest. They came and said they are regretting salary increments, but they did not give us what they would do after regretting salary increments. We see, when you regret something, you have to eliminate it from the system. But by the time they eliminate salary imbalances from the system, they will not have another option to replace salary imbalances, which they did not highlight. Then they also had a burden of showing us how their alternative would be effective, but since they did not give us the alternative, this burden remains unattached, and therefore we have a better prayer of winning this motion. They come with allegations of saying they will reform segregation and teachers will no longer share meals. They did not show us how the teachers of their school, the science and art teachers have failed to share meals due to salary imbalances. Therefore, they have false allegations. The team affirmative did elaborate on why they think the sciences are being failed and humanities first. But we come and tell you the sciences are being failed and humanities first because the sciences are complex, the sciences are dynamic, and the sciences require a lot of research. Therefore, the people who work in these fields have to be funded, their salaries have to be increased for them to get the morale to continue doing their work. They also asked us how the science teachers were involved in real life problems. We gave examples like the pandemic of COVID-19, where the science teachers, especially biology, were affronted to elaborate to people of how they can fight against the COVID-19. They also came and said administrative challenges, and they did not give us examples of administrative challenges. Therefore, it stands null and void. They also came and gave us a ratio of 34 students to one teacher, but our contest was not all about student-teacher ratio. It was all about teachers' salaries. Increasing teachers' salaries, mostly the sciences, is a better option in our context. Thank you, I rest my case, and we win this.
In pursuit that you are not fighting and